Dear Mr. Pritchard, I am a lifelong Gillette customer, and I'm reaching out to you today to let you know that I did something that I've not done for over 40 years. I did not purchase Gillette cartridge refills for my Fusion razor. In fact, I discarded and got rid of the 2 razors that I have and replaced them with a competitive brand. And I've quit Gillette because of the release of the Best a Man Can Be campaign video. Yes, that video incensed and offended me so much that I broke my heart to give up a brand that has been part of my life for over 40 years, my daily ritual, and from a company that I respect and admire so much, P&G. Also, as importantly, that video runs contrary to everything I believe and practice as a marketing professional, and it is diametrically opposed to what I teach students in my business school classes. And Mr. Pritchard, this is not a political rant. This is not a cause célèbre. I'm coming at this constructively and from a professional, responsible point of view in the hopes that something good and a positive move can come of this. I also see this as a very important teaching moment in my class that I will be using. So just a little context about me. I have over 50 years marketing experience in some great companies, working with some great companies, and I also teach at a leading U.S. university. I find teaching is my avocation. It is something I enjoy immensely, and it's my time to give back and hopefully set students and next generations of marketers on the right path. So whatever I can do to do that, I will. In my classes, I use P&G as shining examples and beacons of best practices in marketing communications. I often quote you and give kudos to P&G's campaigns for Pampers, Always, Like a Girl, the Thank You Moms initiative for Olympics. These are examples of great campaigns, especially in purpose-driven marketing. These campaigns celebrate their users and their audiences in an authentic, sincere brand voice. They're powerful, they're emotional, they're positive, they're uplifting. I want to watch them. Unfortunately, I cannot give that praise to the Gillette The Best a Man Can Be campaign. It just simply doesn't live up to those values. So I ask myself, what the heck happened? So here's the assessment I give my class. First, the good stuff. I applaud Gillette for their stated strategic purpose of inspiring us all to be better every day. And I quote, to promote positive, inclusive, attainable, healthy versions of what it means to be a man. Making that part of the brand's purpose and platform is commendable and smart. Also, moving from the best a man can get to the best a man can be is also a good evolution. It's smart, it's a good brand voice, it fits, and it's emotional. As a statement, it makes sense, and it's positive and uplifting. Also, kudos to the brand for making the Boys and Girls Clubs part of the give back part of this initiative. It fits, a nice move. As you know, it's a truism in marketing that strategy is essential and sound strategy sets the stage. But it only takes you so far. It's the interpretation of that strategy and the execution that make all the difference. Sadly, somewhere between Gillette's strategic, aspirational, good intentions and the execution, the campaign has morphed into something quite different. The brand teams and agencies were handed a golden opportunity to do a campaign that would be powerful, positive, emotional, uplifting, and set the stage for the brand growth in the next decades. Unfortunately, they didn't do that. They decided to take a different direction. What a shame. The teams made a decision to move from the bright side to the dark side and create content that demeans and denigrates its target audience. Gillette presents men's generally as intolerant, groping idiots, condescending bosses, poor fathers, and a whole host of other negative portrayals that are not accurate and offensive. Apparently, to Gillette, men are mindless lemmings behind the barbecue, always screwing up and being the worst that they can be. Sure, there are some men that are like that. But to paint all men with that general picture is offensive, inaccurate, and denigrating. That is not the way men are in general, period. I am confident that the overwhelming majority of your customers and potential customers and Gillette employees and P&G employees do not feel or act that way. I know I don't. I know the men in my family don't. And just about every man I know does not act that way. Also, the campaign deliberately uses topical and incendiary phrases rather than being responsible and uplifting. Quite frankly, this is disturbing on its own, but particularly disturbing because it's very un-P&G. Rather than being genuine and standing on its own, the campaign gratuitously attaches itself to the Me Too movement. And in my opinion, it distracts and diminishes the very important impact and need for this great initiative and movement. Also, the campaign deliberately uses polarizing phrases like toxic masculinity that present a very prejudicial and, quite frankly, dark, bleak view of American values and men. And finally, I ask myself this question: would I be proud to go into the Boys and Girls Clubs of America and show them this video? My answer is an emphatic no. Here's what I'd be saying to them. Hey kids, take a look at your toxic father, your toxic brother, your toxic uncle, your toxic teacher. They're pretty bad, huh? I don't think that's the message I want to give to the next generation of youth in the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Also, I think it could have a negative effect on their young, impressionable minds. So, Mr. Pritchard, here's my plea. Please take that video, put it in the archives, and lock it up tight. Create new content. Revisit the creative brief. Then ask your agencies and brand teams to put all of their energies into developing an award-winning campaign that's going to be powerful, uplifting, unifying, and motivational. Unfortunately, today, this type of approach is not in vogue or the flavor of the day at many agencies, and that's too bad. But I do know this: positivity always beats negativity. Negativity results in short-term buzz and some awareness, but it never, ever results in medium or long-term behavior change. Taking this more positive, motivational route can go a long way to building the brand in the future, and also a long way in winning back lost loyalists like me. Incidentally, I will be having my students do this as part of a reimagining exercise in our invention sessions that we do in class. I'm looking forward to what they come up with, and I'd be very, very happy to share it with you if you'd like to see it. So, Mr. Pritchard, I know this ran a little bit long, but thank you for listening. And I hope that we at some point can get the opportunity to talk about this and see where we can take this in a more positive direction. Thanks again.